UK, like the rest of the world, realises that actually the only way to now really succeed going forward is to collaborate along the supply chain. So what you're seeing is far more partnership type arrangements. And that's not just partnering from a technology point of view, but it's also partnering around managing the supply chain. The OEMs in the UK have realised that they can't operate a fragmented supply chain with hundreds of suppliers. So what they're looking to do is choose key partners that will take on responsibility, not just for designing product type, but also actually for managing an extended supply chain. So there's an awful lot in terms of collaboration as a means of driving both new innovation but also cost savings. The average size of a business in the UK supply chain is smaller than anywhere else in Europe. So there's a real challenge around how do they become true global players. So what you're starting to see is actually them learning to develop a global supply chain, learning what to manufacture in the UK and what to manage in terms of low-cost suppliers in other markets, but also helping to support the likes of Rolls-Royce, Airbus in terms of targeting the Chinese, the Indian market by developing a supply chain there as well. So you're starting to see people move from being just a small manufacturing type business to actually becoming a global supply chain manager, and that's been driven by the OEMs. There's two key elements. There's the defence and the civil aerospace side. If you take the civil aerospace side first, the UK has performed very well off the back of the success of the likes of Rolls-Royce and Airbus. What it's starting to do now, though, is realise that it needs to access other markets directly. So you're starting to see more focus on the likes of Schneckmer in France and going over into Comac into China. So the aerospace supply chain, it's all about looking for new opportunities to build on the success to date. Defence is slightly different. There's an awful lot of consolidation going on in defence. There's reductions in budgets, and therefore they're having to look at actually, almost innovate to stand still as opposed to innovate to grow. So there's two very different dynamics in the civil and defence sector in the UK. In the UK, government and industry have developed what's called the Aerospace Growth Partnership, and that's been very much focused at saying, what's the key technologies of the future? Where does the UK have a competitive or leading advantage, and how can we build on that? So in the UK, its innovation is all around the wing technology, the composite technology, monitoring systems, and so what you're starting to see is a lot of focus and investment in those areas. It's effectively government backing the winners. It's interesting, most conversations I have now with my clients, they're talking about what relationships do we have in China, India, how can we facilitate introductions for them? And actually that's really the strength of our global practice, because we can start to connect people. And as you connect people and make the introductions, then you've got the opportunity to advise them. And you're almost demonstrating firsthand that we can support people. And given that's the whole drive in the industry at the moment, we're well positioned to build on that. But it's about actually having those initial conversations and knowing people in those other territories, which is why an event like this is so important. As a boy, I wanted to be a fighter pilot and then realised that was never going to happen. So this is the next best thing. I actually did a secondment to Rolls-Royce for a number of months, and then also acted as Chief Financial Officer for a supplier into Rolls-Royce. So firsthand, I got an experience of the sector. And it just interests me because it's a sector where actually from a UK perspective, we are still market leading. And it's good to be involved in an industry which has got so much positivity around it, so much innovation. So that's really how I got involved.